How we doing tonight, 240 Lounge? I am Thomas Bottoms. I am going to be your host this evening. Are we having a good time? Yay! I'm a little bit upset. I saw the Ben Carson that he said that homosexuality is a choice and that prisons are a prime example of this. Because I didn't know going to parole meetings was a good cruising spot. Oh, do we have to have the gay talk? I mean, some gays can pass. I'm a feather boa away from being on RuPaul's Drag Race. And yes, I did see the episode on Monday, okay? I get involved in my RuPaul's Drag Race. Like, I put on some makeup, I pour some vodka drink, and I get some Game of Thrones. When they have to lip sync for their life, I just shout out, 2 queens enter, 1 queen leaves. Oh goodness, it's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy month. I haven't done comedy in a while because, you know, when Kanye West stormed the stage, all the comedians shouted out, "Oh, I can dust off those jokes." Yeah, he was defending Beyonce, as men are apt to do. He was defending the song Drunken Love, which was kind of like a reworking of Diana Ross's Love Hangover. No, if there's a cure for this, I don't want it. Of course, Love Hangover has that, you know, glow of freshly fucked. Beyonce's Drunken Love makes me want to join AA. Wow. So people love Beyonce in this house. Okay. All right. I do feel as a white man I need to apologize for a lot that happened in 2014. Especially Iggy Azalea. For those of you who don't know, Iggy Azalea is a tall, statuesque, blonde woman from Australia who raps like she's from Atlanta. And I'm not being mean to her because she's a white woman who tries to rap, or even she's a woman trying to rap. My introduction to rap was the Blondie song Rapture. And Deborah Harry could at least sing her own choruses.
Good song.
Yeah. Iggy Azalea says, "First things first, I'm the realist." She's as real as Milli Vanilli and only half as attractive. Oh goodness. I've been stressed out. I was invited to my high school reunion. Anyone gone to one of those yet?
Yep.
Yeah, we've got a couple. Okay. Yeah, the nightmares are back. I'm still waking up in the middle of the night like I did in college, and I'd scream, "I graduated!" I'm kind of surprised they invited me because I transferred my senior year in high school. They were like, "Thomas, if you transfer, you'll..." Occupational hazard. I need to join the parole board. No, I transferred my senior year of high school. And everybody's like, "Thomas, if you transfer, you won't be able to attend the reunions." And I'm like, "Yes, I can, and I'll show up with my rifle." And I went to school in Colorado. That's a bad thing. Colorado, greener than you think. All right, everyone, now that I have set the bar so low, are we good, or do I need to set it a little bit lower?
Let me see who's going first, set it lower.
Oh, okay. Our next comedian, our first comedian of the evening, he is a nice gentleman. I'm not bringing you up yet. We're going to do a segue. He gave me a movie that he thought would change my life, called Monster at Bikini Beach. A film that has been showed in my apartment while I was filming something, because one of the people I was filming with brought a friend who proceeded to sit on the couch and start jerking off to Monster at Bikini Beach. That was awkward, but I wasn't offended though. I wasn't offended because I used to work in the sex industry. Yeah, behind the scenes though. I've seen all this. After I'm done crying, I take a shower. But Yeah, I worked in a sex store. I was an underpaid. I am getting these jokes god awful. Edit. We're just gonna do this. Porn has changed over the years. Like in the 70s, there were actual scripts and sets and dialogue, and then they would have sex. And then the 80s, they became video, and those plots became, oh, we're jogging, it's so hot, take off their clothes, and then they have sex. Now, porn is two college students who can't make tuition awkwardly have a conversation as they're being interviewed, and then they have sex. They have literally separated the meat from the chaff. Did I get that phrase wrong? The chaff from the meat? The meat from the chaff.
That's it.
The wheat from the chaff. There we go. I wasn't born in this country. I was born in Germany. I always get American phrases wrong, like, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. Our opinions are like assholes and you're one. And on that note, we're gonna, everyone drinking tonight. Yay! Give a round of applause for the lovely Letty, our bartender tonight. We have drink specials, the 240 lounge, that everyone calls the 420 lounge. I don't know why. We're next to the glamorous Admiral Strip Club. Now, theater, Admiral Theater, thank you. Letty, have you ever been at the Admiral Theater?
No, I haven't.
Have you thought about it?
It's crossed my mind.
It's crossed your mind? Now, gentlemen, have anybody here been at the Admiral Theater? All right. Now, I've always been told this, and I apologize for putting you on the spot, Letty, but I've been told that our bartender is far more attractive than the dancers at the Admiral. Round of applause for Letty. Tonight we have for $8.50 you can get a beer shot. We have, huh?
Beer shot.
Beer and a shot.
Oh, beer and a shot. See, I thought this said bear shot, and I'm like, I know I need to lose weight because I'm wearing the gay moo-moo, but... Because I used to be able to pass myself off as thick, because it was impolite to call me heifer. Yeah, now my thick passes for pregnant man. All right, we have $3 Amstels, $2 Rouletello specialty drinks. Roulette specialty drinks.
No. Roulette beers.
Roulette, $2 roulette beers.
See, those were notes, I wrote those for me. See, I wasn't expecting you to read them verbatim.
Is that why you call the bartender Lather?
No, I just, no, don't worry.
L-A-T-H-I-R, Lather. I'll draw the R, I'm sorry. Okay, and we have specialty drinks. And we have a great line of comedians tonight. We've got my co-producers in the house, Murphy Rowe. We've got Colin Nelson, Donald Gibson, the man who wishes he could move to Colorado, Johnny Cuevas, Andrew Polly. We've got actual audience members in the house. We've got Brian Stevenson, our headliner. And we're gonna get it rolling with the gentleman who gives me porn. Give a round of applause for Phil Burns.
Thank you, Thomas. Thomas, you lose any more weight, you look like a cancer patient. So Lent is upon us. Anybody here Catholic? No? Yeah, we got one. Okay, cool. One. Nobody else here is religious? Okay, good. Because I've been thinking about some of the different things that have, you know, gone on in religion. Like, I was looked at a picture of the Last Supper, and the thing is, they only show 12 apostles in Christ. There were actually 13 apostles. The 13th was Fred. Don't ask me where I got that name from. It's just the name that popped in. He was the kind of like the setup guy for all the venues that Christ did. You never really saw him with the rest of them. He was always out going to different venues right away, setting up the, you know, dinners, drinks, all that. And at he was at the Last Supper, but when they actually did the selfie, he was a mile away putting drachmas in the chariot meters. Which kind of sucked because you know how big drachmas were? They were like the size of a car tire or car wheel. And there's a bitch carrying them around all the time. I mean, you had to have a backpack full of like 50 of them just to put them in the chariot meters. And back then, when you broke the law, it's not like now where they'd give you a ticket. Back then, they'd crucify you. And you know, back then, guys were always hung. I know. But anyways, I was also thinking about a lot of expressions that had to do with Christ. And these expressions gave me the thought that maybe, just maybe, he was schizophrenic. Multiple personalities. First one, he had Tourette's. You hear people say Jesus fucking Christ all the time. Gotta have Tourette's, because nobody that doesn't have it won't say it. Found out you've heard the expression Jesus H. Christ. Found out his middle name was Horatio, so that's now we know where the lead actor on CSI Miami got his first name from. Yeah. He had Three Stooges personality. You always hear people saying Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Yeah, he was another way. Everybody's talking about him, you know, Mary Magdalene. I think that's where they put the drachmas, because she was probably big enough to take the drachmas in there. Fucking break the stake. But yeah, it's just, you know, I'm not religious myself, but there's a lot of funny shit in the Bible. You know, like, who was it? Abraham was supposed to cut one of his kids in half or something. Some shit like that, I don't know. But, you know, if you want to really read something that's warmongering, comedic, and has sex in it, read the Bible. I'm serious. I mean, Mary Magdalene, religious whore, right? You know? What was it? The Old Testament, when the Jews, they had that horn or whatever, and they tear down walls with it, which ended up in the Ark of the Covenant, which we all know from the Indiana Jones movies. Or the first one, anyways. Come on, give me a break. This is new stuff. I'm just making this up on the spot.
Work it out.
Yeah, I know.
Work it out.
But see, I never had to read. I went to Catholic school for 3 years, and it was the worst experience of my life. But I learned, that was the first time I ever got a beaver shot. Too bad it was from a nun. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Falling asleep in class. Man, now, what they did to me when I fell asleep in class, now parents would sue for assault. Yeah. It's either the metal ruler across the knuckles, or across the back. Yeah. Oh, that fucking, or they do the hook thing and just kind of jab you in the shoulder blades. That hurt like a bitch. Don't ask me why I remember. I guess I'm in the pain a little bit. I've been married 4 times, so I guess so. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I'm not, like I said, I'm not religious. The last time I went to a church was my uncle's wake back in 2009. He actually died on 9/11, 2009.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I know, he was in his 70s or something, military guy. I walked in and I actually had to shake plaster dust out of my hair. That's how long it's been since I've been in a church. I won't go into, I've been considering thinking of a non-denominational church. To meet women, of course. Not for religion. No. But I would kind of miss the Catholic Church because I'm old enough to drink now enough.
I did that to the doorknob.
Yeah, but you did it the wrong way. Going to a Catholic church now on Sundays, getting communion, I wouldn't mind that much because I do like to drink wine once in a while. But I don't know about the wafer, and I don't know, the priest still puts the wafer in your mouth. I'd be kind of worried about that because it would be too much like pedophilia, thinking about all the priests that have raped altar boys. No, I'm not gonna do that. I guess I've seen where they hand it to you and you eat it yourself, but still. But yeah, I'm not. Like I said, I'm not big on religion, so it's just something that, I don't know, especially at my age. So I'm going to give it back to Thomas. Thank you very much.
Bill Burns, everybody! Yes! Phil Burns, you talked a lot about religion and churches, and I actually dealt with someone coming to my door asking me if I wanted to join their church. And I said, no, I don't have time to be that judgmental. We have lovely ladies coming in. Give a round of applause for more audience. I'll spare you this time. We'll come back to you later. We're going to keep it going. We're going to bring up our next comedian, Andrew Polly.
What's up, Chicago?
Yeah.
Love you guys. Love you guys. I was watching movies with my friends the other day, and I realized slowly that this movie we were watching was based on the last book I've ever read. So I told her this kind of pretentious guy. It's like, oh yeah, I've read the book. You know, I've read the book. The character structure's way off. The book's better than the movie, right? The book's better than the movie. I totally ruined the Lorax for them. I love that song, You've Lost That Love and Feeling by Hall & Oates, you know? But that song does lose its love and feeling if you sing it over the phone to your old high school wrestling coach. Won't appreciate that. Now we got a couple of ladies in the house. I got a question for you. What's with all these emojis? Like, why are you guys just like talking in hieroglyphics now? Right? It's like I gotta be a freaking Egyptologist just to get laid. Fellas, you feel me? Like I don't do the texting where like is anybody here like texting a girl 4 times in a row just thought it's over now? I'm done. Whatever we had in the last 2 weeks is just over. It could have been my wife. I didn't have to text her JK twice. I go to a liberal arts college now, which means I'm surrounded by white rappers. There's too many of them, really. There are. But like, there's also like, there's some bros out there, and they're always like, let's get weird, bro. You ever hear those guys like, let's get weird, bro? They have t-shirts that say, let's get weird, bro, on them. But if I see a guy wearing a let's get weird, bro t-shirt on the streets, I just go to him and start tickling him. It's like, hey, is this good enough for you, buddy? Huh? How about you Snapchat each other our poops? How about that? How about we take our shirts off and talk about 9/11? Let's get real weird. Let's get real weird. Oh, man. Or even like high school kids, man. They're doing some weird shit these days. Like, they don't like the taste of alcohol, so they take tampons and dip them in vodka and put it in their bodies. And this is a totally true story. And this is girls and guys, both. Like, I don't know how that peer pressure goes guy to guy, but it's gotta be like, come on, dude. Could be a pussy, so you can just tampon in your butt, man. Like, you're such a fag if you don't. Like, just do it. Put the tampon in your butt. And like, I know guys that get competitive when they drink. Like, it's oh, you got a tampon in your butt? I got a feather duster. Oh, you got a whole feather duster? I got a whole mop head. How about that? I can just see a circle of guys. One guy doing a handstand, the other guy slopping a mop bucket, just like, mop my butt up, bro. Mop it up with vodka. That's dangerous though, don't do that. We actually had to go over that in Air Force training. We had to take a 30-minute briefing on not putting alcohol in your bum. Somebody died of it once in the Air Force, and we all have to sit through that on a Friday from now on. The guy was just, I mean, like, there's a lot of alcoholics in the Air Force. I was one of them. But, like, the guy was an alcoholic, and then, like, he had his jaw wired shut, and he couldn't drink, so he had his wife pour Jack Daniels in his bum, and he died.
Was there a funnel?
I don't know, but, like, they probably weren't being safe like that. There might have been a little bit of, like, cooking oil on the edge of the bottle for lubrication. I don't know. I mean, they're most likely rednecks. I don't know. There's a lot of good old boys that join the Air Force or the military in general. I went way off the rails right there, and trying to figure out what my next joke is. It's just cheap. Yeah, I see a lot of single moms these days. They get their children's names tattooed on their bodies. But I see that I'm also like trying to fuck them because I don't want my kids up on the wall of bastards too. You know? I also love Rihanna and Rihanna fans out there. All right, we got a Riri fan up here. I love her. Like mostly because she's sexy as hell, right, Thomas? Like you would go straight for Rihanna one time, right? No. Not even Riri?
I borrow her wigs and wear her clothes.
Well, but like still there's a little, like, because you want to be, I don't know.
We gossip if Chris Brown's good at doggy style.
Either way, like I would let Rihanna do whatever she wanted to be sexually. Like, I'd let her take a dump on my chest if that's what she was into. But I know she's a freak because I heard that song S&M, which got me thinking, maybe Chris Brown didn't beat her, maybe she just got the safe word. You know? That might have been what happened. I was laying in bed with my girlfriend the other night, and I asked her, honey, do you believe in soulmates? She had like a little twinkle in her eye, a little peppy, and she's just like, yes, Andrew, I believe in soulmates. I'm like, that's great. I believe in soulmates too, but I'm pretty sure my soulmate's some big-titted bitch in Tahiti, and I can't afford to retire there yet, so you'll do for now. Up top. Come on, up top. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Whoa!
Hello.
That sounds like a
How much did you have to drink already? Oh, wow. I'll get out of this, like, I've been sober about 3 years now, sober-ish. I got the wagon recently because I was like, it's 3 years, I can kind of try it again. But like, I come from like a long line of alcoholics, and like I'm afraid to pass on those genes. I'm also like bipolar and stuff, so like I'm afraid to have kids, really. So to combat that fear, just jerk off into fire. Like it's just me with the pick, just like, oh, here it comes. Get on, let's get in the way, like a spider. Or if I'm with a lady, I make a little campfire at the edge of the bed, and then when it's time to go, I jizz in the fire, and a flash of smoke with a skull that comes up. I know the demon seed is dead. Thanks a lot, guys. My name's Andrew Pollock.
Andrew Pauly, everybody, give him a round of applause. Yes. Oh goodness, I I recently, 4 months ago, I had a birthday and I reached a number I never thought I'd reach.
40.
28. Like you just start reaching the age where you start negotiating, and I'm realizing, I'm finally saying, wow, back in my day. Like currently there's a lot of people going on the media and just saying really stupid things and everyone gets offended. And back in my day, we had Paris Hilton. She just had a sex tape and said stupid things. So it was vastly different. You could tolerate it better from Paris because at least you saw her get fucked. You got revenge. I mean, where's our Sarah Palin sex tape? I'm angry. And sadly, things from your childhood that you loved now grow and they change. You'll see this. You'll see this. I mean, in the next couple years, they're going to have the song by the Black Eyed Peas, My Humps, selling an osteoporosis medicine. We're going to bring up our next comedian. Give a round of applause for Scott Norvey.
Thank you, Thomas. That is a wonderful lead-in. Folks, sorry if I seem a little aggravated tonight. I got cut off before a game here. I wasn't driving, I was at another bar. Apparently they have a problem with you ordering a bottle of Jack and a Coke. My uncle, God rest his soul, was a hitman for the Landscapers Mafia. He was known as the Sod Father. He was the original weed whacker. Folks, this has been bugging me all day. It's been on my mind. Can a transvestite be accused of mail fraud? Having fun out here drinking. We having fun drinking tonight, folks? You ever do this one, guys? You get so drunk you feel invincible. You know what I'm talking about? You just, you just punch out the biggest person at the bar. And you feel guilty about a half hour later, so you buy her a drink.
That's good.
I like drinking. It's, you gotta be careful when you're drinking up. I once stole a pig off a farm when I was drunk. It wasn't even on a dare. There was nobody with me. I just drive there, I saw a pig, drove off. Cops caught me, came on my door, knocking on my door 2 weeks later, and they charged me with ham theft. Okay. No, but it's fun drinking. It is. It's fun. The problem is, like I said, you have to be careful. I once was at a bar. I ended up getting drunk and getting into a fight, which sucks for me because I'm not a tough guy. Okay, but there we were sitting at the bar and we were just arguing back and forth. Next thing I know, I got called a pussy. I said, yeah. Well, you are what you eat. You dick. Those words got the shit kicked out of me. And why did this all happen? Because my wife is a dick. Yes, I'm married. I've got one single friend left. One single friend. He says, I'm never getting married. Marriage is too much like prison. I said, no, man, you got it all wrong. See, prisoners get parole. They also get a lot more ass play. My wife is older than me. She likes me to call her the cougar, which is a lot better than what I used to call her, which was Pruntang. I remember when we were dating. When we were dating, she used to wear the sexy underwear, the thongs. And then we got married, and she stopped wearing those and just started wearing panties. And then we had a kid. Now she's wearing the bloomers. Now 6 years later, she wears what I could best describe as thunderwear. Last week she wanted me to go out and buy a gag gift for her sister's birthday, so I came back with a 13-inch dildo. That should do it, honey. We're doing wonderful here. This is warm. It's warm in here. It's nice and warm in here.
Yes, it's cold outside.
Yeah. But we're just two different people, me and the wife. You know, for instance, you know, I like chocolate ice cream and she likes being a bitch. She says the thing she hates the most about me is my ESP. I said, I don't have extrasensory perception. She said, I know, you have an extra small penis. It's okay, folks, I've gotten back at her. I found me somebody that says I have a rather large penis. Got me a parrot. There's two things that can be funny about that. One is I taught the parrot to say I have a big dick. Or two, I'm fucking a parrot. We've been together for 6 years, thank God. I found out the way you make a relationship last is you have to lie, am I right? You gotta learn to lie. I told the truth once. Once. She said, Scott, how come you never ask for sex anymore? All you want is a blowjob. I said, well, honey, that's because I've never seen you squeeze a child out of your face yet. But you have to be careful. There's that flip side of the coin. You don't ever want to get caught telling a lie, do you? I caught her one time. She came up to me and she's like, Scott, I want what you want. Which is total bullshit. To this day, she doesn't want to sleep with her sister. Where are we at about time? Roughly?
Minute and a half.
Minute and a half, okay. Folks, there's a fine line between normal and batshit crazy. You know? Like for me, normal is maybe watching a couple of girls make out. You know, that's alright. What makes it batshit crazy is the two girls are my sisters. And I'm videotaping it to post it on YouTube. Let's wind up with this one. I once had the pleasure of dating a girl who had a tracheotomy. Talk about somebody who can deep throat. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You can't do it like that. I'd have killed her. Are you nuts? Sadly, we had to break up. I broke up with her because even though she did love giving oral sex, when she would swallow, it would squirt out her neck and onto my balls. And you don't ever want to come on your own balls, do you guys? Maybe somebody else's balls, but not your own. No, I made that up. Tell you the truth, she actually broke up with me because she didn't want anything long term. Mostly because she only had 6 weeks to live. Thank you very much. I'm Scott Novi.
Scott Novi, everybody, give him a round of applause. Scott, I commend you for being married. Just being married for like 6 years. Could people ask me, Thomas, do you want to get gay married? And the answer is no. I look like I've been gay divorced 3 times. We're going to bring up our next comedian. This gentleman recently filmed an episode of a show called The Offensive Line. It's on YouTube if you want to check it out. We talked about dating and dating mores and learned the hard way that probably you need panelists who can get a date. Give a round of applause for Johnny Cuevas!
Put your hands together for Thomas Bottoms, everybody. Thank you for putting this room together for us, and him and Murphy Rowe. You guys put a great show together. And then you guys invited me for something. Oh, shit. All right. This is something that happened on my way here tonight. After many, many years on this planet, I finally understood my brother's point of view. I was on the bus coming this way, and I saw this lady getting off of the bus with 2 young boys. Now this lady's at her stop. We got a green light, and she's taking her sweet time getting her things together. Now the younger boy is doing whatever he can to help speed it along, and he's obviously frustrated. The older boy sees what's going on and runs out of the bus. The mom ran. No wonder he always comes home with trophies. Get it now. So I'm Johnny Cuevas, and I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about my recent concussion. Because it was awesome. It was badass. How it happened was amazing. You wouldn't believe it. What happened afterwards, fucking hilarious and filled with hijinks. But I'm not going to talk about that now. Because I already did that set. And this is new stuff tonight. So you guys are going to deal with the aftermath. The only reason why I bring it up is because of the fact that I found something out at the end of that week when I walked around fully concussed. And this is what I found out. My personality is such that I could walk around with a concussion for an entire week and nobody noticed. Oh, I guess I get to say shit that fucking people don't get to say shit. You know, like I get to say whatever the fuck I want. Oh, okay. So in that vein, papaya. I think papaya is the vagina of the fruit world. Because it doesn't smell the best, but it's so delicious. I want to fuck a papaya, yo. But I'm late. So yeah, I'm on Match.com, and I have a sneaking suspicion that all of the people that I get matched up with on Match.com are based off of what I buy on Amazon. Because I buy one Dragon Ball Z video. Now all of my matches are Asian. Like number Asian girls, like what the fuck? It's accurate, but how do they know? To be perfectly honest, any kind of woman would have been accurate. Because I don't care what's on the outside. That doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is what's on the inside and how a girl treats me. And I'm a real big fan of a girl being a real bitch. Because bitches will save you time, people. Because they don't spare your feelings. I'm like, oh, that bit you've been working on for a month? It sucks. Throw it out. You were good at sex last night, though. Fuck yeah, I was. Hell yeah. Boost your ego and shit. I was real good at sex. I'm gonna do it again tonight after I rewrite all this shit. But, you know, I'm getting older. You know, I don't want to say how old I am because I'm at that age where I'm kind of embarrassed to tell people how good I look for my age. But I'm getting older and I realize things now, you know, like I'm growing as a person, as a child, because of my experiences. Every time I saw somebody with the hiccups, I thought they were drunk. It's because of Tom and Jerry, you know. Tom and Jerry, you guys should love Tom and Jerry, is the first gay couple on TV, by the way. I don't know if you guys know that. You didn't know that? Just watch the episode when Tom would fucking get drunk and then go after the white cat and see how pissed Jerry gets. For no reason. You know how the relationship worked? I'll tell you how it worked. Tom was addicted to painkillers and Jerry was an enabler. That's why you heard him all the time.
Oh.
But I realize that because I'm a grown person now. That's just nature. You know what I mean? Like, I realize things differently now because of the fact that I'm a grown person. Like, I know that that's not the case when you have the hiccups. I have to be honest with you, though, every time I see somebody with a runny nose, I think they're doing cocaine. But that's just because of personal experiences. Because every time I get sick, I seem to do better with the ladies for some reason. And I'm like, oh, you think I have cocaine, don't you? I don't, I'm just sick. It happens sometimes, it's weird. You know what's weird? I finished all the jokes that I wrote, so this is gonna be real fun. Originally I had this idea about talking about like a general, just like a general, oh, you know what, I got the light, so never mind, we'll do a different kind of improv. We're gonna play a game. You guys ready to play a game?
Yes.
It's called I Like My Women Like. The first person to yell out an inanimate object.
Couch cushion.
I like my women the way I like my couch cushions. Smelly and underneath me. Can I have another inanimate object, please? I like my women the way I like my bottles of booze. Easily accessible. All right, everybody, my name is Johnny Cuevas.
Johnny Cuevas, everybody. Wow. Our next comedian is a real ladies' man. He brought the lovely ladies tonight. Yay! Do we have single men in the house? Do we have any single men?
Yeah.
Okay, do we have any single men that swing my way? Oh, we got a partial. I look amazing in a pair of heels and a wig. We can talk. But our next comedian, he's a little bit of a ladies' man. He brought two lovely ladies tonight. Are any of the lovely ladies dating him? Engaged. Wow, he liked it and put a ring on it. How long have you been dating? 2.5 years. Okay, 2.5 years. So you've got that sanity thing. Well, I talked to a friend last night. She's turning a number, and she's about 14 years older than the gentleman she's pursuing, and they've been dating for 4 months, exclusive 1 week. He wants to knock her up and move in. And they're both unemployed. It was like, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't want to tell you your business, because she was like, Thomas, you judgmental. I'm just honest. No. But you look very fully clothed and you're clean. And so give a round of applause for the man who's going to walk her down the aisle, Donald Gibson.
Everybody knows I'm getting laid. Fella next to me on the plane turned to me and said, I just got back from Thailand. Fellas, if you've gone to Thailand by yourself, lie. You should lie. There's no Disney World in Thailand. There's no touristy reason for you to be there. You go to Thailand because you realize you have a serious, deep-seated problem. You kind of want to see where it goes. I woke up the other night in fear and panic. I realized that I was 4 days late paying my car insurance. So I rushed to the computer and found out that I had already paid it a week beforehand at 4 in the morning. You good people don't know my habits. But what that says to me is a week before that, I got blackout drunk. I paid my car insurance. Who doesn't want to party with that guy? Just crying in the corner of the bar. I don't even understand this health savings account shit, man. My deductibles are huge. I'm gonna get topical. Yeah. Like an ointment. Woo. Yeah. Y'all scared of these terrorists? These big bad scaries? Their car bombs and masks and always hiding in dark corners, jumping out, going, gotcha. Scary time to be alive. You scared, ain't you, darling? Don't be scared, fiance. I have the cure. I can fix it. This Al-Qaeda, this ISIS. Why are we still calling them ISIS? Why do the murdered death pricks get to pick their own club name? Because the whole world starts calling them something different. That's what their name is. We are ISIS. Nah. 9/10 of the world says you are Lipstick Limp Biscuit. A drag queen Fred Durst extravaganza. See how many fellas want to join up with that outfit. There's skepticism, I feel it. I know what I'm talking about. When I was in 3rd grade, I tried to start my own gang. My mom had me watching a lot of Grease 2. You haven't seen Grease 2, it's like Grease without the talent. But I realized I had a lot of that 1950s rage built up in me. That West Side Story type rebellion. You know, with the and all that. So I did what any fledgling gang startup would do. I passed out some notes at recess, kicked back, cut the fingers out of my yellow winter gloves for leadership credibility, and I waited. Couldn't miss. My gang name was modeled after the famous Grease ruffians, the T-Birds, so I invited everyone to join the D-Birds. Rumbles were clearly in my future. But then there was Andy. Andy was a sharp kid. And he looked at the invite, he looked at my gloves, he looked at the invite, he looked at my gloves, he looked at the invite, he looked at my gloves, and he made a brilliant 3rd grade improvisational call and went, "So what, are we going to be called the hand jobs?" No, we're the D-Birds. But it was too late. He said, "Whatever, good luck with all the hand jobs." And recruitment issues followed. I'm just saying, if we as a world sign a treaty and agree to call these guys Experimental Butt Stuff Mystery Club, I think the hardcore military, there's experimental butt stuff happening, man. Don't worry about it. I don't know how to regain traction now. I'm gonna move on. Here's a tip. If you ever wake up in the Old West, you need to make friends with a long-haired Indian. Because the ones with mohawks will fucking kill you. I've seen a lot of films. The raven-haired ones, they won't trust you at first. There will be a moment of skepticism, but a mutual trust can be developed. Not so with the mohawks. They will tomahawk you in the face without even looking at you. You need to join up with the long hairs. There'll be a lady in it for you. She'll be curious in spite of her tribe's trepidation. She'll be lonely because her brave warrior husband just died. Get into her teepee. I don't have an ending to that. It gets racist, I think. All right, end on this because I've never done it, so it'd be great. If I ever meet God, I got some questions. And nothing stupid like, why are we here? Why do bad things happen to good people? Just 2 words. Meg Ryan. If he was looking down on us with such love, how did it happen? 1985. Sleepless in Seattle. Joe versus the volcano. She was mousy. She was adorable. She was everything that little kid me wanted. And she was fully fucking clothed. 1988, Inner Space. 1990, IQ. She was adorable. Not even a shoulder to yank it to. And then the late 90s. The Metamorphosis. She reemerged with the face of the Joker. It was hard to even look at. It's like a relative in late stage Parkinson's. Like, Uncle Toby was a Marine, for fuck's sake. And now, after her deal with Satan has clearly expired, and she wears the sins of many years on her face like a kabuki mask of stretched out scrotum skin. Now she's like, who wants the full frontal? You tell me your God has a plan. I'm done, I'll give us a thank you.
Donald Gibson, everybody, give him a round of applause. Wow. Talking about the great Meg Ryan. Oh goodness, they something I read about in the news is they're doing like cross-casting, and some people are angry about that. Like Annie went from being a red-headed girl to a black girl, and like the Human Torch is no longer a white guy, is played by a black guy. Nick Fury's now black, and I'm kind of okay with that. I'm fine with that. But they're doing it with a remake that I don't think it would work. Back to the Future. I don't think a black kid would go back to the 1950s. Not said to be mean, my suspension of disbelief is too much. We're gonna bring up our next comedian. Give a round of applause for Colin Nelson.
Just keep it going for Tommy, everybody. How we doing? How we doing up here? How we doing in the back? You guys doing good? I got a cough. I think that's an answer. Fantastic. So guys, let's fucking I used to date this woman who had a 2-year-old daughter, which I don't know, big fucking mistake. Do I look like I could raise a kid? Do I look like I'm a responsible adult? If you're not sure, you have bad judgment of character because I cannot raise a child. I have no paternal instincts whatsoever. The only thing I've thought about when it comes to raising kids is what I'm gonna do when I find my kid's drugs, which is my kid's drugs. And this woman named her daughter Layla after the Eric Clapton song. And I don't know how familiar you guys are with Eric Clapton, but he doesn't really have the best track record with young children. But that trend has always worried me. The trend of naming your kids after songs. I worry that like 15, 20 years from now, let's say 5 to 10 years from now, I'll start running into people from high school. They'll introduce their kids to me like, oh hey, this is my daughter, Pump Up the Jams, and this is my son, Smooth by Carlos Santana featuring Rob Thomas and Matchbox 20. Yeah, you guys just learned some shit tonight. Pump Up the Jams is a girl's name. But speaking of kids and names, when I was back in elementary school as a young man, there was this kid named Leo, and he's a nice enough kid. Didn't super stand up, but I always hated the motherfucker. I have no clue. I've held on to this resentment for like 15 years, and I didn't figure it out why I just absolutely hated this kid. We haven't seen in over a decade at this point. And I was doing some basic math because I had to work out some financial shit. And I realized, well, this kid's name is Leo. You could spell Leo on a calculator by turning it upside down, right? You can't do that with Colin. So for almost 15 years, I've hated this kid because he's able to do that and I can't. And I don't want to hold on to that resentment anymore. So I'm going to change my name to Bill Hellboobs. But I want to be dead soon. And it's not necessarily just a product of suicidal depression. That's a huge part of it, definitely. But mostly it's I have very specific instructions for what I want to be done with my corpse. I want to be buried naked, completely nude, save for a dope-ass pair of shades. Just on the off chance that like 30 years after I die, somebody might dig up my grave and I'll just be a skeleton wearing sunglasses. They'll be like, damn, this dude was probably dang as heck. But you guys familiar with the song Red Solo Cup by Toby Keith? Anybody know that song? Don't clap. Don't be proud of that. That's the dumbest song on the planet. That's so fucking stupid. Thank you. There's a line in that song, verbatim, that goes, the Red Solo Cup is the, and if you're not familiar with the song, it essentially serves as a love letter to the titular Red Solo Cup. But it says, the Red Solo Cup is the best receptacle, and I don't believe that you have testicles if you prefer drinking from glass. That's pretty fucked up, because Toby Keith has more money right now than accumulatively all of us will make in our entire fucking lives. And he will not drink from anything that isn't a 1/4 millimeter of plastic. Like, what is he gonna do? They bring him into the head of Sony BMG's fucking offices for a new record contract. So he's like, oh yeah, 3 more albums, here's $13 million. Let me grab my decanter of 120-year-old bourbon and brings it out to him in a glass and hands it to him. What's Toby Keith gonna do? Throw it in his face and call him a faggot? Probably. God bless America. Fuck the South. But speaking of music, I think you guys all know who Shaquille O'Neal is, right? Shaq Diesel? Yeah. Vastly underrated. Vastly underrated. Everybody knows a great basketball. I don't give a fuck about sports, but that man is a fantastic rapper. He does not get the credit. And I'm not talking about Kazam. Not talking about that movie. I'm talking about his 4 albums, 2 of which went platinum. If you were a discerning hip-hop fan in the fucking early 90s, 1994, Ill Communication by the Beastie Boys came out. Sure, you could have gotten that, but also millions of people bought Shaq Diesel. That's fantastic. On one song on Shaq Diesel, there's a lyric, and the song is I Know I Got Skills, with a Z. But the song in that, the lyric in that is, I dribble rhymes like basketballums. People call me E.T. What's that, Shaq man? Extra tallums. First of all, fucking that's brilliant. That's so fucking brilliant. But nobody has ever called anybody extra tallums. That's how you get fucked up. Secondly, I want to know how long did Shaq sit there trying to write that, because basketball and tall already rhyme. So, but yeah, oh, fucking, anybody have tattoos? A few people, you got tattoos, alright. Alright, Nazis? Okay, those existed at one point. They're still around, a little bit. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of tattoos, in lieu of Nazis, I got a few tattoos, and there's this old adage that goes around that I'm sure some of you are familiar with, that once you get one tattoo, you're essentially addicted to it. I think there's a little bit of truth in that, because I've actually lost count of how many I have. And I'm already planning on my next one. I want to either get a tattoo of like a small black child, or a very milquetoast white family in matching sweaters. Just in case anybody asks me, oh, who are those people? I can say, I don't know, they just came with the bicep. But you guys know what glory holes are, right? You're yes. You would fucking know. Of course wasn't there a glory hole in the bathroom that open mic you ran? Wasn't there one? I think there was one. If there wasn't, there should have been, or there probably is at some point.
I always use the private bathroom. Why did I go to the community one?
Oh yeah, you didn't go to the special hidden closeted Republican senator bathroom?
Yes.
Oh no, they only have those in airports. But anyway, the thing that worries me about glory holes is like, it's not that like, oh no, there might be a man on the other side. I'm still not gonna do it, not because of that, but because I worry that like, you don't know what's on the other side. I could stick my dick in there and it'll just be a bowl of cold spaghetti or a bunch of peeled grapes. Spooky music starts playing, like the fog machine goes off. And I don't mean spooky music like the theme from Ghostbusters. That doesn't count. I'm talking Monster Mash. Although the theme from Ghostbusters would make some sense because there's that line, "Busted makes me feel good," which I think is bullshit. I think it's bullshit. I'll touch on this and do one more thing. I think that's bullshit because that's a broad generalization when it comes to busting. Because if sex addiction exists, I have a fucking problem. I'll jack off 5 times a day, even if I am getting laid an unhealthy fucking amount. I hate it. I hate myself for it. Busting makes me feel terrible. Speaking of that, and I'll close with this. One thing that's always worried me is that a lot of people seem to think that women with quote-unquote daddy issues are all quote-unquote sluts. I think it's bullshit because first of all, I think slut is a bullshit term used to perpetuate a bullshit double standard. Thank you. And secondly, I will go down on any woman that validates me, and I fucking hate my dad. Hope that son of a bitch dies soon. Just in case in case I ever accidentally have legitimate children, I could bring them around and say, "Come on, Rhythm is a dancer, let's go piss on Grandpa's grave." Hey guys, I've been Colin Nelson.
Yay! Colin Nelson, everybody. He has a great head of hair. He let me rub his head of hair. I really didn't know what was going with that, but it's okay. It's all right. My boyfriend's here. I feel awkward giving a head massage. He'd accept a hand massage, but I need to get a 50. So, see, I know of glory holes, and I've worked like at porn stores where they had glory holes, and I had to go in with a mop. Very classy. But I'm like you, I've seen way too many horror movies, and I'm not just gonna absent-mindedly stick something through a hole and hope something good happens on the other side. I do not trust my fellow man. I take the CTA. We will turn on each other. It's only a matter of time. And also, it's because I've always been the prude of my group. I have sex like a woman. No, I don't mean like I dropped the nail file. I mean, I actually want to know the person and have an emotional connection with the person. Or at least know the first name and I like you enough to go here. I think this day and age, I think that qualifies as sex like a woman. Because men are still pretty much, as soon as this bisexual thing catches on, I am game. More Hummers for me. But, you know, I also met a lesbian who was completely on the other spectrum. She had sex like a scandalous gay man. Like, on the second date, most lesbians bring a U-Haul. On her second date, she brought another chick. Hey, can we do a third? All right. Out of your realm. Now our next comedian. This poor man, I feel so bad for him. He's sat through 3 filmings of The Offensive Line. Again, find it on YouTube. He even sat through an episode that's not gonna air. Because we filmed one of Talk About Your Worst Dates. And I had not screened the comedians as well as I should have. So Murphy tells a little bad thing about a first date that actually was 6 hours and it was the second date that sucked. I tell a story about my bad date and it ended with him getting arrested. But you know, it wasn't really the worst date of my life because we were having fun until, you know, the cops put him in handcuffs and carted him away. And I was too judgmental about him. He would have been paroled by now. Wow, okay, I don't play desperate well. But we invited a very feminist, very angry feminist comedian. And we asked her, okay, we'll call her Marsha. Marsha. So, you know, my date got arrested. Tell me about your worst date. I was raped. And that's why the episode will not air. We're now going to find a feminist with a sense of humor. Oh, okay, Colin, you had a question. Yes. No. Okay. I thought that joke was going to be funnier than it was. All right. Give a round of applause for my co-producer. I need some noise. Bring up some noise. We're here because of him. Give it up for Murphy Rowe.
Keep it going for Thomas Bottoms, everybody. Keep the noise going for Thomas. Doing a great job producing this show and hosting this shit until he brought up the rape thing right before he brought me up. He was doing a great fucking job. Great job until he killed the room with the one rule of comedy. Make people laugh if you use the word rape. That's the one rule of comedy. There's no rules in comedy. No rules, just right. I don't know. How's that? How we doing tonight? Everybody doing good? Everybody hanging in there? I'm Murphy Rowe. I'm one of your co-producers of this show. Colin was talking a little bit about having kids, and I think having kids and naming kids is like, I think I want kids in my life. Like I think I want a daughter. Because I think there's something really special and really magical about that father-daughter relationship. I think that's something I would really cherish in my life. I think I'd have a hard time naming my daughter, because I think I'd have a hard time coming up with a name I haven't wanted to fuck yet. You know, like Megan and Lauren, that was like knocked out like 5 times over in my high school graduating class. Lottie, probably not. No, I'm kidding. But that is your bartender's name, so give it up for her real quick. Lottie is slinging your drinks, so be sure to take care of her tonight. Doing a great job here at the 240 Lounge, the lovely 240 Lounge. The one show where you're sure to have a weird, creepy guy walk in while you say the weirdest thing of your set. It's the best. I love it. I love doing shows here. It's great. How are you guys doing? I feel like when you're around comedy a lot, you see a lot of people bring their girlfriends around or whatever, or whoever the flavor of the month is, and it's just like with Donald, like, don't you just like come to a show like this and be like, oh my god, how did I get the one comedian who's a normal adult? Like, what the
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't know. He just is wearing a belt, and that means normal adult to me. I don't know. So, like, he looks like a man. He looks like a man who owns a device that holds all of his ties. Maybe? No.
It's a nail.
A nail? Yeah, that's what I got too. I got a tie nail. Every single one of my ties is stained and has grease stains on it. It's ridiculous. I wear the same thing to every wedding I go to because I have one tie that's not stained. It's fantastic. Here's what I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight. I get one of my biggest pet peeves, one of the things that really pisses me off is when people in leadership won't listen to experts. You know, like politicians that won't listen to scientists. You know, like those Republican congressmen who think science is part of the liberal agenda. You know, like Jews control the periodic table. You know, shit like that. It's like they do stupid shit like that. Like they deny global warming, and they like try to kill like bills that could save our grandchildren's lives. They're like, I will not support this global warming fixing bill. Because I do not believe that global warming exists, because I'm a rich white man. And frankly, at this point in my life, I cannot afford to start believing that my actions have consequences. It's something I cannot afford to do. Vote Romney, 2016. But the only thing that pisses me off more than people not listening to experts is people that listen to experts too much, you know, like people who like just take everything they say, like, Phil, you had your time. Yeah, no, it's cool, it's cool, you had your birthday, you had your big fun, this is my time. I thought that was gonna be. I wasn't trying to be a dick. I thought that was gonna be funnier. Honestly, like that was the moment where I tried a thing and it failed, and it just makes it look like I'm being a dick to you. But I'm not. Keep going for Phil Burns, everybody. Starting off the show tonight. No, but I remember I don't like it when people listen to experts too much, because like I remember in high school, like my mom would be on my ass being like, Murphy, you shouldn't listen to music while you study. You shouldn't listen to music while you write papers. Experts say it's too distracting. You shouldn't listen to music while you do your schoolwork. And it's like, well, you experts don't know shit about me. Like, I need the music. You know, like, I need to be able to listen to that. And it's like, yeah, the music is distracting. But it's not distracting me from getting my paper done. It's distracting me from that little voice inside my head that's saying, you're so fucking stupid, you're never gonna get this paper done. You know, it's like I had, when I was writing a paper, it's like I had this weird, like, schizophrenic clippy in my brain. You guys remember that paper clip from your parents' first computer? That, like, just wanted to help you super bad and everybody hated him for it. There's like, it's like, hey, you're writing a letter, can I help? You're like, fuck you, no, I know how to write a letter. Like, oh shit, do you double indent the first line? Fuck. Okay, Clippy, what do I do here? It's like if that negativity had like made Clippy snap and now all of a sudden he's schizophrenic. Like I had that voice inside my head. And it'd be like, it looks like you're sitting down to write an essay. Would you like some help? Because I know about 100 monkeys and 100 typewriters that could write a better thesis statement than that. Maybe try working a little harder on your thesis statement. No, that's not how the second one goes. I forgot the second one for a second, but this is how the second one goes. And then Clippy is like, when you're working on an essay, be sure to save early and often. Because heaven forbid the world misses out on your take about Atticus Finch. It looks like you haven't written anything for 20 minutes. Maybe try a 5-minute free writing exercise. Or try hanging yourself with the power strip. And it's like, you don't need to listen to experts all the time because they don't always know what's best for you. Like I remember experts in high school said, don't do drugs. Don't do drugs, it'll change your brain chemistry, it'll change who you are. But in high school, I already fucking hated who I was. Like, and I hated myself to the point where I got super depressed about it. And an expert solution to that, me being super depressed, was to put me on a drug that changed my brain chemistry. And it's like, and I was suicidal in high school and they put me on Zoloft, and I don't know if you know this about Zoloft, but one of the potential side effects of Zoloft is that it makes you more suicidal. It's like I feel like you might not be an expert about this one. Like, it's like, this whole time, like, you put me on this stupid fucking Zoloft pill that makes my dick work like a leaky faucet, and this whole time I could have been on a super fun drug? I could have been on one of the super awesome ones, and I could have been one of the cool kids? What the fuck are you doing to me, man? Like, and I realized that, like, recreational drugs like marijuana don't do the same thing as Zoloft. Like, I realized marijuana does not technically inhibit my serotonin reuptake. But here's the thing, the goal of Zoloft is to make me want to not kill myself, right? But sometimes it makes you want to kill yourself more. You know when I've never wanted to kill myself? Anytime I have more weed left. Any fucking time. It's just like, yeah, I got Netflix and weed in a microwave, I'll be fucking okay. Alright, thanks guys, I'm in Murphy Row.
Murphy Row, everybody! Give him a round of applause! Murphy, I am pro-legalization. I lived in Colorado. It's greener than you think. It's a good place. Round of applause again for our co-producer, Murphy Row. Are you ready for your headliner? This gentleman has been on the scene for decades. He's incredibly funny. Give a round of applause for Brian Stevenson.
Hey guys. Thanks, Tom. Thank you, buddy. Hey, let's hear it for Tom and for all the comics here tonight. How about these guys, huh? You know, is it me or are people living longer? I saw in the paper the other day, a 103-year-old woman got married for the 21st time. Oh. And they had a picture in the paper, and I gotta tell you, fellas, she might be 103. She had the ass of a 92-year-old, I swear. She was smoking hot. Hey, thank you guys for coming tonight. The weather outside, huh? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. If you're a freaking penguin, right? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but this polar vortex, I'd have had it with this shit, huh? I mean, you may not know it from a scientific standpoint, but if you're a guy and you've been married longer than 5 years, trust me, you've encountered the polar vortex. I have friends who've encountered it in the summer. But the one thing I got to tell you, it's affecting is the animals. Did you see the news tonight? They caught a wolf on 294, for real. By Great America, they caught a wolf. They had the guy on from DNR and he said, don't be alarmed, that wolf is not from Illinois, it's from Wisconsin. And he says he knew this for several reasons. One, the markings on the fur, and the fact that it had a Packers jersey and it was carrying a 12-pack of really shitty beer. And it also had a 500-pound girlfriend. Go Bears! But you know, it is, they are starting to see bears in southern Wisconsin. And I got nothing against Wisconsin, but those people, I don't know, man. Do you hear? They have a new law. You're allowed to hunt feral cats. Stray cats in Wisconsin, you can hunt them. I'm like, what's the getup? How do you do it? Do you have like a camo, your shotgun, and like a big ball of yarn or something? But, you know, it was making me think. They are seeing bears, they are seeing wolves. Do you guys remember, what was it, like 4 years ago, when they shot that cougar on the north side of Chicago? Do you remember that? Yeah, knocked her right off her bar stool. I don't know if you guys missed her 20-year-old boyfriend by this much. And the amazing thing was, 3 appletinis later, she was right back at her. But my favorite is, do you guys remember this lady? She had a pet monkey, and she dressed it, it ate at the table with her, she bathed it, she slept with it, she played with it, and one day, surprise, surprise, it went apeshit and ripped her face off. Do you remember this?
Yes.
Yeah, it was on the news. And I remember reading that and going, oh my God, well at least she still has her eyesight. Because I don't know much about animals, but I went to Catholic high school, and they told us, you play with your monkey, you can go blind, so. I like that one. Hey, now, Tom, do you live in Colorado? You have a house out there or something?
No, I lived there when I went to college. It's been
Okay, I was just out there last month. I went snowboarding out there. I snowboard, I don't ski. I have too much testosterone. It's my fault, but it's not a big deal. But I was snowboarding through the woods, and I wiped out. If anybody snowboards, you catch an edge, you kind of flip over. And I wiped out, and I looked. And I am not kidding. You're not going to believe me. This is true.
Oh my God, you gotta make that snack.
Sasquatch is standing right next to me. Bigfoot, for real, is like right next to me. And I look up, he's about 10 feet tall, he's hairy, he's got kind of a person's face. And I look at him, and he just gives me one of these, and he smiles, and he walks away. So I'm getting my board together, and Snow Patrol comes over, and the guy's like, oh my God, that's Bigfoot. I said, yeah, yeah. He goes, oh, he was right next to you. Weren't you afraid he was going to attack you? I said, no, I think I was fine. And he goes, why? I said, I'm pretty sure I dated a few of his sisters in high school. But you know what show he would be great on? Sasquatch would be great on The Bachelor. Do you know that show? Those women are such nitwits, right? They'd be like, well, he doesn't speak, he's a vegetarian, he's a hunter-gatherer, and, well, let's face it, he's got a really big foot. I like that one. Sorry. Saw in the news the other day, my wife is from a small town in Indiana. A guy went in to rob the Quickie Mart, and he had a gun in his pants, and it went off. And he blew his wiener off. I can say wiener, I got a 15-year-old son. He cracks up. Anytime you use the word wiener, it's a winner. He blew his wiener off. And I'm thinking to myself, how would you defend that guy, you know, if he was on trial, right? Ladies and gentlemen, my client walked into that Quickie Mart, an Italian, and he left an Irishman. But, you know, if you think about it, you know, I don't think they should send that guy to prison, right? They should just send him to Curves or something like that. Wow. Spring is coming. And yeah. I coach, I have 3 daughters. I coach girls softball. And last year, my wife was pregnant. I got home late on a Friday, threw in a sweatshirt, a pair of jeans. I rushed out to the game. And I got there, about 20 parents are there, both teams are on the field, I'm pitching. I get to the pitcher's mound, I reach over to get the ball, and I realize I'm wearing my wife's jeans. So there I am in front of 50 people with sassy on my ass. Yeah. One thing kept going through my mind the entire time. Do these jeans make my ass look big? I'm telling you right now, between my wife's jeans and her pumps, I couldn't get the ball over for nothing. It was a complete drag. There we go. Hey guys, thanks a lot. I'm Brian Stevenson.
Brian Stevenson, everybody, give him a round of applause. Thank you so much for coming out to Hound Dog Comedy. We do this every Thursday. We'll be back next Thursday at 9 p.m. Give a round of applause for our lovely bartender, Lenny. Keep it going for our comedians. We had Donald Gibson in the house, Colin Nelson, Phil Burns, my co-producer Murphy Rowe, Brian Stevenson, Andrew Polly, Johnny Cuevas, and I've been your host, Thomas Bottoms. And please hang out, have a couple drinks with us, and come back next week. Thank you.